Hello everyone, Charlie here. Welcome back to the Looney Lunar Prison. And we have maximum security people now. Yeah, that intake has brought us 13 lovely souls. I believe it was 14, but one of them has already been released early. Yeah, apparently he was near his end of his sentence anyway. We've got a couple of things to talk about here. The first is, since we have normal, maximum, criminally insane, and protective custody, the regime gets a little bit more complicated, right? We need to cater to people's ability to want to go to work, earn money, buy things in our shops. We also need to cater to their free time needs, and I don't want them to have, like, these two here, there's a little bit of cross. There's a little bit of times where, like for here, for example, where they are going to be, you know, kind of in the same place. Here's a little bit of a dangerous area. I'm still debating on whether to keep this as a work lockup or to do something different with it. But if we're going to have every single security level in this prison, and all of those security levels are all using the same canteen, that means I need to have this locked down. The regime is going to be the most important element to keeping the prison safe. So going along that note, we have one protective custody guy right now, and I'm actually thinking of, where's my informants? We have 87% coverage on an informant, but I don't see anybody here with like a snitch or ex-law enforcement or anything like that. Cop, killer. Right, I don't see any of that stuff. So I think we're just going to have the one for now. But as we intake more, of course, that need will arise even more. Gangs are just 3 apiece. No big deal. And I've been observing prisoner movements, right? I need to see how they move, where they move, what pathing they take. I've made a couple of adjustments. First thing is this area here. Instead of allowing maximum security to get into this shop to work through here, I've had to lock this down to being a staff-only area, because maximum security prisoners will use this as their primary pathway to everywhere they want to go. They don't want to go through this big door, which is supposed to have a door servo on it. Not there. It's going to be here, right? Wait, which direction does this door open? Yeah, it goes that way. That's what I thought. There we go. Get those done. But they don't want to go through here because it's like multiple big doors. And honestly, this can probably be closed now. Yeah, this door doesn't even need to exist anymore, to be honest. This was serving a purpose before when this place wasn't quite done yet. But now it can actually be dismantled. But still, they don't want to go through here, right? So this is working really well, actually. This classroom here, the deployment on this, having this only be a certain security, etc. This is working wonderfully. But what wasn't working was this. So I have locked this down to being staff only now. There you go. This was supposed to be a lockdown too, I think. Yeah, no. This was supposed to be a staff only zone as well. Yes. Okay, the next thing, I've been looking through the regime, right? And there's not really a whole lot I can do for protective custody free time right now. That's got me, that's the hard part, because people are staggered in their sleep schedules too. One thing I've been considering doing is getting everyone to sleep at the same time and then have protective custody be different. But having them sleep at the same time, it also gives me problems with eat schedules and stuff too. So it's a juggling match. So what I'm wanting to do is this yard here. They're not going to get free time specifically, but I'm going to give them several instances of yard time. And that will provide them with all of the amenities that they need to at least get their exercise and feel like they have their freedom. So for the time being, we're going to go ahead and remove that free time for protective custody and remove this yard time. Because I don't want them to have free time and be able to go wherever they want when normal security is on work or lockdown. And then also at that same time, look at criminally insane is on free time. So I definitely don't want that. So what we're going to do today is we're going to give protective custody their own yard. And that's going to happen right over here. So we're going to take indoor yards or outdoor yards. let's do an outdoor one. Give them some sunshine. We're going to go about like that, and we're going to come over like this, and come down like that. And I think we'll just call it good there. Yeah. This will be where that yard is. And then we can also adjust this since it's just planning, right? We can go ahead and adjust this to maybe come over. But we'll have their door. It'll be a yellow jail door. This will open up and let them into this little yard area. So let's get rid of this forestry as a room. We don't want them to be growing any more trees here. And we can leave these trees up. These don't matter. We can, give them trees to be in their yard, but some of these trees are going to have to be cut down in order to get the fences and stuff going. I would hope they're still building that. Nope, they're not. I canceled the room on there. I didn't want to cancel the fence. I guess that's both. Okay, so for this, we don't need any pathways, but we need this to happen. So we're going to go to the doors, and I'm just going to have this be here. And then a door servo is going to be placed right here too, to help with opening that door up. All right. Now this door servo needs to be connected to the door control system. So right there ought to do it. And then we'll also want to connect this other door, which is down here, as soon as they hook it up. And we're going to give them their own yard, and then I can give them excessive yard time instead of the free time. Hopefully that helps a lot. Get this installed, and door control system. Brilliant. All right. So this is our yard now. Let's get the room taken care of. This is not a forestry anymore. Next, let's get them some of the basic essentials. One, I think maybe just having... Is the metal detector necessary? I don't think so. Reason being, because they're going to go through several to get into this wing in the first place. So if they have any metal from other places... well, there's visitation right here, though. But they're going through metal detectors right here. On visitation. So I think it's probably okay not to have it here, because they're going to be going through several. Mostly the reason why I have metal detectors between the canteen and the yard is because they can get knives from the kitchen, and they can get forks and all that stuff, and then they bring it in here and they use it. So that's why these are all metal detectored out. Oh, and to formally respond to your question, I did it in text, and I know that we've already done the conversation in comments, but in case anybody's curious and you haven't bothered to ask yet, why do I have multiple metal detectors instead of just the one row, right? Why do I do rows of them, multiples of them, right? And then, like right here, for example, and right here especially, like, why is he doing a row? Why not just one? And the answer is, it's because of how metal detectors in the game work. See, as long as there's nobody with metal on them, you'll just get this nice little white blip. And that's no big deal. But as soon as someone does have metal on them, I just heard it. There it is. As soon as someone does have metal on them, this light goes red. And when it's red, it stays red for a little bit, right? 1 or 2 seconds, it stays red. And that's when it tags up a prisoner. Now, when that happens, the metal detector stops functioning. While the light is red, it's not scanning anyone. So if I have multiple people, like in a close group, which is what normally happens, like when schedules and stuff change, right? These guys are all walking through here, right? If one of these guys is trying to sneak out metal, it's going to go red. And then other people are going to move through that red one. And they're not going to get scanned. So there could be 2 people with knives. The first one will get tagged. The second one will not. So by having multiples, it eliminates that risk entirely, right? I was trying to find here. Here's a great example. So this one is not working. All these people who are moving through it right now are not getting scanned at all. But when they get here, then they're getting scanned again. And by the time, like, what are the odds that this one tags and this one tags at the same time? It's pretty rare. And since it only stays red for a short period of time, by the time this one stops being red, the other ones are reset and vice versa. So that's why we do it, because it tags up multiple prisoners at a time like that. And it can catch multiple people as opposed to you know, having them slip by. That's a lot of people getting tagged right there in this really big crowd. We don't want them getting through. So having multiples helps with that. Hopefully that solves that, that answers that question more thoroughly, like formally in a video. Okay, so I want to take and get objects going. Let's get weight benches. We'll have them be about like this, I guess. The stumps. It's the stumps. You know what? We're going to not lay them down yet, because if I do this in alternating times, the sprites will sometimes be just slightly offset from each other. But I will get benches, because they love benches. So let's lay down the benches along the outside. Yeah, right like that. I like it. Benches around the outside, and then up here we can put in the phones, because they're going to want to call people. They do that. 3 phones there, ought to work just fine. Hello, pages. Direct control mechanism. Crazy idea. The player is given direct control over the prison warden. All build orders are issued directly. The warden walks around and points. So this is like the scribbly notes of like when they're starting to come up with warden mode. Genuine danger. You have to live in the same prison as your inmates. Don't get trapped alone. Yeah, it's kind of nice. All right. So when the stumps go away, we'll go ahead and lay in the benches and stuff like that. But this gives them it gives them a yard. So we'll grab this. We'll call it a yard. Like that, right? Now, there's no shops or anything here, obviously. So we're not going to have the protective custody. He's going to have to buy it from this one. Yeah. They have a common room here. They'll buy it from this one. But, like, it's really tough because, like, I want to protect their lives, but getting them into this canteen and then having to come through here. Like, if you're doing this yourself, yeah, you're going to want to have your own canteen for them probably. But this is like a challenge run for me. Have every room not be square. And in addition to that, have only one canteen and every single security level active. I think that's a really cool, genuine challenge. There's another thing we could do here, and that's to replace the doors. And I thought this was kind of a cop-out, which is why I wasn't doing it. But it's a genuine solution if it becomes a problem. And that is that... All right, hold on a second. We have maximum and medium working in the same workshop. They're both on work free time. This. Yes. Do I want them working together? I don't... Like, right now, the numbers are so tame on maximum security that it lets me see these weaknesses in my system without having a whole lot of consequence to it. But, like, over time, having this filled up with mixed, I don't know if I want that. Also, one other thing I want to do before I forget. I know I'm like a bunny rabbit all over the place here. I want to go ahead and grab permanent punishments. It's $5,000, and I'm also going to activate death row after that because we're going to want to get started working on that soon too. But permanent punishments are needed for one reason, and that is because there's a really nasty trait. It kind of sneaks up on you. You don't really know it's a problem until it's too late. I'm going to go ahead and grab this guy. And that is the instigator trait. The instigator trait is just gross because it could take somebody who's not very dangerous and instantly trigger a huge riot and a huge fight and a whole bunch of people who are dangerous. So permanent punishments. We're going to take anyone in the entire prison, regardless of their security level. If they have the instigator trait, I'm putting them on permanent lockdown. This means that they're going to have their meals delivered to them. They won't be in the canteen with everybody else. They won't be in giant groups with other prisoners. And that's going to prevent them from triggering other people who otherwise wouldn't have fought. You can have someone who's really quick, extremely deadly, expert fighter, all that stuff, but they're not very volatile and they're not necessarily going to kick off. They're dangerous, but they're not necessarily going to kick off if you cater to their needs very well. But with an instigator nearby, all of a sudden they're going to fight, and now everyone else is going to fight too. So if you see instigators in your prison, you want to lock them down. And I don't see them right now. I know I used to have one, but he might have got out on early prisoner release. But I know I used to have one. Take a look at logistics. What kind of capacity do I have here? I could take a few more mediums. Maybe we take, is this good? This actually isn't bad because we have a lot of cells here available. I just want to get the regime sorted out before there's a lot of consequence to this. Let's bring maximum security down. Go about like that. I think should be work. That should be fine. Okay. So yeah, they're all training up. Now I also have 2 foremen now, right? So I can have multiple classes and courses and stuff for this. I can run 2 at the same time at identical time slots if I want to. I don't think I want to though. Yeah, I don't think I want to though. Let's go ahead and just reschedule really quick. Psychological treatment of drug addiction. Okay, we have a couple of people in general education. This is the only one we have left to pass as far as grants go. Where's grants? We only have Reform Through Education Initiative and Cell Block E. That's it. After that, it's just the one that's hidden. And this one was reminded to me in the comments. This one here is only happens if you run into really dire money situations. It's basically a government bailout. We're never going to see that one because I'm never going to have money problems, he says now. Watch like 5-10 videos from now. It's like, oh my God, we're out of money and I'm losing money. What the hell's going on? That's what this game does. That's what the game does. This doesn't have to be a room. Thanks. And let's just make sure that's still staff only. This was protective custody. I fixed it. It happened when I had this corridor marked, and then I moved the door and I installed the door. It took for some reason, it took the security level of this and decided to apply it to the entire workshop. So instead of the other way around, right? Make this shared. It's because I think it's because there was no doors here at all at that point, and this is technically a bigger space than this, so this one overrided this one. I think that's how it works. Let's take... Benches are already installed. Good. Phones installed. Excellent. Let's get somebody listening to them. Do we want another phone tap? I feel like I want one more phone tap. Just because. We can put it over here. We got a lot of space here, so... I'm going to put it here. And we'll just go like that. Another phone tap. And then that phone tap will monitor these phones down here. And I want to give them... oh, they have these phones down here too. I'm already monitoring these though, right? Connect. Yeah. So this one's only... Hang on. This one's only listening to 4 phones. We could just have you... We could just have you listen to those. We don't need this right now. You can cancel this. We don't need that right now. The less guards I have here working on a thing, right? Working on one of these stations, the less that's doing that, the more that are out walking around. And that's the other thing I have to work on too. And it's, again, this is a trial and error process. Probably gonna see mistakes as we go. But in addition to really getting this nailed down, I also need to get the deployment nailed down too. Now, somebody in the comments asked me, can you break down the deployment scheduler? Because they don't understand it. Okay, I'll try my best to do that. So, each one of these colors, you're also going to see represents a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the white is no number. White is all times, okay? So if you schedule it for white, it will apply to everything. The white dial is the current time of day. So as time progresses, this white dial moves. That's what you currently are on. So right now we're on deployment 3. Now what does that mean? Well, if I click in here, you'll see the red arrow. The red arrow is what I'm currently editing. So if I click anywhere, it's going to apply to only that spot, right? So let's say I want to do a patrol, okay? Go to my patrol screen. It's the best way to visualize it. And I am on the blue, right? Or I have the red arrow here. If I want to assign a dog handler to here, and I click that, it's going to assign it, but it's only going to assign it to number 3. So as we move to a new regime, that goes away. In 3, it's there, and this, it goes away, okay? Now, the numbers and colors don't matter. You can have it be whatever you want. I've opted to use 631, but you can use any color you want. And eventually I'll have all this stuff in all sorts of different colors because I want to have guards and my personnel positioned in places where they are most effective. And that means moving people around depending on where people are. So I want, for example, right now is number 3. Number 3 is when standard normal security prisoners eat. So during this time, I have more guards positioned in this area, and I also have a dog to just sniff around, right? Now, at this period of time, though, nobody's eating here. Or at least they weren't. They might be now. I've just introduced maximum security and shifted things around. But during, like, say, 8 o'clock, we didn't have anybody eating here. So I have people generally standing by, and normally that's because people are working. You'll see people with brooms. They're working through here, and I want to just have somebody keeping an eye on the place. But I don't need them, you know, I don't need a whole bunch here because it's not that condensed. It's not that concentrated of people. Now let's take a look at 8 o'clock. Now, 8 o'clock now is a work lockup for normal security, but it is lockup for maximum, lockup for criminally insane. And at 8 o'clock, we'll actually have protective custody eating. What happens at 7? You guys have free time. I don't like that. Get rid of that. We'll put your free time period here instead. What about up here? You're sleeping. There's really no reason not to have a free time slot, I think, right here too. Now, I'm worried about this because when I send these guys to free time, right, they're gonna have free time from 5, well, like from 6 to 7, right? That's what this is, 6 to 7. And these guys are in lockup. But when this regime shifts, we'll have these guys are all of a sudden, like, they're loose. They're able to walk around immediately. And these guys have to get back to their, you know, back to their cells. I'm not sure about that. But I have 10 a.m. as a solid lockup period for the entire prison. So at 10 a.m., like, if there was any chaos, 10 a.m., it all just gets settled. And we sort of have a day of reset where everyone goes back to their cells for 1 hour and then the regime starts again. Now that's just what I have it set to. I haven't actually figured out, like, deployment-wise for eating times. So let's say 12 to 1. This is a maximum security eat time. Go back to deployment. Right now, from 12 to 1, I have this. That's bad because maximum security is going to eat here from 12 to 1. So I don't want it to be the same as 1 because if I make this 1, the rules that I apply here will apply here. If I make this 6, the rules that I applied here and here will now also apply here. So I need separate rules for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this a 2. This is when maximum security eats. Now, the 2 is going to adhere to the rules that I had for white. Or it doesn't. I thought it would. Oh, I have guards selected. It'll adhere to the rules of white for the guards, right? So that nothing changed with the guards. It changes with the orderlies. I'd have to reset that, but it doesn't matter. We don't need orderlies in here at all, and I actually don't want them in here at all during this time, right? During 12 to 1. And I'm also going to go ahead and do this. It's a free time slot at 11, so that's good. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that at 11 as well. It gives the guards time to get into position before meals. So we'll put 2 here. Now in here, I want to make sure that we have plenty of guards in this time slot. I don't need armed guards, thanks. I don't want any orderlies, so let's cancel the orderlies. I do want dogs. In fact, I'm going to have 2 dogs in here. And then for the assigned guards during 2, we want more guards in here. And this is going to make this really secure. It's going to provide a little bit of suppression for the prisoners. And that's another thing too. Keep in mind, a lot of people were thinking I needed armed guards, and I'm not going to do those. And there's several reasons why I believe armed guards make your prison more dangerous, not safer. Okay? Most people think if I give my armed guards shotguns, I mean, they got shotguns, they can defend themselves. Yes. 2 main problems with armed guards. Now, the first one is the suppression that they provide. that you'd think that's a good thing, but when you get a full maximum prison, most of those prisoners are probably not caring anyway. They're going to be stoic prisoners that don't give a shit about your armed guards anyway. So the suppression doesn't matter. They're immune to it. The second thing, right, is that suppression is counterproductive to my criminally insane, because these guys have character traits that take effect when feeling suppressed. I don't want to suppress these guys. It puts extra strain on them. So by having armed guards in the prison at any time, armed guards are going to make these guys flip out more often than usual, okay? Makes it more dangerous. I need the orderlies to keep them in check. The second reason is because maximum security prisoners a lot of times will be expert fighters and all that kind of stuff. They have more dangerous traits. If you have a prisoner that is stoical, or you have prisoners, I forget what the trait is. I'm using stoical as the example, but I forgot what it is. Let's check this guy, for example. What does he have? He's just strong. There's going to be fearless, okay? Let's use fearless as a prime example. And a lot of maximum security prisoners will be fearless. What does fearless do? They are not intimidated by the sight of an armed guard and is less likely to surrender during a fight. You're going to get prisoners, lots of them, that are volatile. They'll kick off whenever. They're going to be fearless, so they won't care about your armed guards, and they're going to be expert fighters. And that's the ticket. That's the ticket for disaster, because they can kick off without warning. They don't care about your armed guards, and when they're expert fighters, they can disarm your armed guards with one hit. And then once they're disarmed, now that prisoner has a shotgun. That is the worst case scenario. You do not want your prisoner to have a shotgun, okay? So I'm providing them with ammunition with a unit that they couldn't care less about, which is also giving off suppression, which is going to make it more dangerous up here, okay? There's very few benefits, in my opinion, to armed guards in your prison. Unless, and this is the unless, which is probably a lot of you, and that's fine. Unless you have really dangerous prisoners that you would just as soon turn free fire on and shoot them. In that case, fine. Open fire and kill your prisoners, if that's what you want to do. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to kill them. I want to reform them and keep them in check and do the game the way I believe the spirit of the game was intended to be. And that's just my opinion on the matter. So I do not do armed guards. No matter how many times you comment about armed guards in my Prison Architect videos, I won't use them. Unless it is with a Scott Gordon-like prisoner who I have to keep super checked and a whole bunch of people all around him all the time. And it's just like, dude, we might as well just turn on the free fire. In that situation, fine, use armed guards. I choose not to do it. And that's just my opinion on the matter. Okay, got that out of the way. This yard should be functioning, so we're going to go ahead and make this protective custody only. Now, they may also try to climb this fence. There are trees in here, right? So we want to maybe limit that possibility. We have a ton of money. You may have noticed we're making $30,000 a day and $145,000 in the bank right now. Let's line this fence with barbed wire. At least if I'm able to, because it's stupid stumps. But let's line this fence with barbed wire. And that'll help keep them from hopping the fence, right? Because if they do, they'll be really wounded. Now, with this much money, I'm probably ready to go and just making a giant perimeter wall around the whole prison. That makes it even more secure too. So we can go ahead and grab the perimeter wall. $200 per square. But it's meant for the perimeter, right? And it doesn't allow utilities to travel through it. So always check your utilities. Because if I make a perimeter wall right here, it's gonna cut all of this. Your utilities do not go through that. So what you're gonna want to do And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to lay additional electrical. We can actually do this without paying for it. We have to temporarily have this be disconnected, but we go all the way up here and disconnect this. Make that their priority for a second. We go all the way up there and disconnect that. And then once they start disconnecting it, we start laying additional lines down using the electrical cable that they put in storage. They do put it in storage, right? I thought electrical cable goes in storage. I'm not seeing that happening. Maybe it's just pipes. I thought it was, maybe it's not. No, I guess not. All right. Maybe it's just pipes then. All the way up. And this is a priority as well. We want to get that gate turned back on because while that gate is not opening, trucks are not able to get in here to deliver goods. And that includes delivering electrical cable. So I'm going to have to manually open this gate for a short period of time while they relay this. And then we're going to go ahead and have them start working on the perimeter walls. And that's just going to be essentially this. Yes, this is fine. All the way up like that. And all the way over like this. We'll start with this much. Actually, we got plenty of money. That's $36,000 for that wall, though. That's a lot. Let's go, like, maybe here. Let's go, like, here. And then we can also get it going. Hang on. The mayor is calling. Oh, no. I always dread the mayor's call because it's that one event. I just know it. A disaster at a nearby prison has rendered the whole section of the facility unusable. We have no choice but to transfer the prisoners there to your prison. As there are no other suitable facilities nearby, they will be arriving soon. Okay. Well, I've been keeping capacity, right? Let's take a look at how many cells we have available. It's not a whole lot for criminally insane, so hopefully they're not delivering those. We have plenty of space for these guys, but because I don't know how many the prisoners the mayor is bringing, it's time to expand this a little bit. So I'm going to take this white wall. I'm going to bring it... you know what? I'm going to bring it all the way over. Yeah. Just bring it all the way over. It's time to expand, boys and girls, because the mayor has called. They're coming. And now we're down to 40K. Like, just like that, we're down to 40K, man. But we're laying down perimeter walls now, which is really important for making this more secure. It means any tunnels that they try to lay out are going to be... they're going to take a lot longer to get through that tunnel, right? To get through the wall. And on the other side of it, it also means that they can't just climb it. I don't think they climb perimeter walls unless they have the shirts and stuff. They can climb this fence without a rope. They can't climb this one without a rope, I don't believe. So, and then we can also do it around this too. Oh my god, they're here already. That was quick. Are they maximum? Oh my god, they're all maximum. Please don't be gang leaders. Please don't be gang leaders, not yet. Lots of greens coming in. Gang leaders, dude. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. It's 3 buses. We got tunnels. Oh, we need to do a shakedown. Let's do a general tunnel search. And then also, let's make sure that any tunnels that are detected are queued to be removed. So it doesn't look like... Oh, we want to get our... cell status. Hang on. These are going to start filling up really quickly now. Requires entrance. Of course it does. Here. Just use... frick. I hate that the doors are in this menu now. I want them in objects. Put it there. Like any random door, it doesn't matter. Just put it in there. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we have forced, and then we're not doing this now. Bye. We're not doing that now. Let's see. Did we get any gang leaders at all? At the end of the day, no. We have 8 green, 5, and 5 on the others. We're finding rope, poison, cigarettes, all sorts of things. And of course, the attempt to dig Very, very quick attempt to dig, actually. Kind of a pathetic attempt to dig. These cells are going to be super full. Now, are any of these question marks? Yes. So we want to see what they are. We have a guy here with 91% coverage. So I'm going to go have him come on into security and tell me about my prisoners really quick. If any of them are volatile, they're on permanent lockdown. Okay, it looks to me like we're going to have a legendary too. Crap. We've got a legendary here now too. We'll deal with him in a second. Recruit informant. There we go. And extremely strong, volatile, tough. No instigators. No instigator. Tough instigator. You. Congratulations, sir. Oh, we don't have that done yet? Oh, no. Oh, you've been doing the wrong one. I clicked that one first, thinking you would do that one first. I need him on permanent lockdown as soon as possible. Okay, so workmen are going to get on this as soon as they're done with the perimeter wall, which is, you know, they're doing okay work on that. You know, they're getting it. It's getting around. We had a lot of money. We just blew through. Current cash flow looks like we're making $43,000 a day. Exports were over 22 grand, and we're getting some pretty sweet cash for the prisoner grants too. But yeah. Oh, another comment said, why aren't we doing the floors and stuff? And I will do the floors. I will do decorative floors all day. But because of the logistics of this prison are different than my other ones in the sense that we're not eventually converting them all to maximum, right? I don't know whether or not the cell blocks are going to change shape or not. And I don't want to waste money laying floor just to have that be changed later. So there's certain situations like over here where I've dropped the fast moving tile just so staff can get through places faster, right? Certain places I've done that. I put snow here because I was pretty sure I was going to keep that the way it was. Yeah, the offices, you know, those were going to stay the way they were because they're nice and fancy and all that stuff. This security office is most likely going to stay the way it is. So we could go like a high-tech look. A grate. I want like red, perfect for staff areas. A comfy carpet. Oh, these guys and their comfy carpets. I don't want that. Comfy carpet. We could put comfy carpet in the staff room. Let's put red carpet here just to like see what it looks like. It's in the staff area, right? They can munch and eat while they watch television. That's good. Slugworth is resting. He works so hard from his beautiful comfy chair and his moose head. He works so hard, doesn't he? Did we get... Okay, hold on. I want to see something here. Now, we got our informant in. It shows us all the information about each prisoner. We know we have an instigator, but I want to see our legendary. So this guy probably is a legendary because he has a lot of traits. Let's take a look at his character. It says reputation. It doesn't say legendary. He's just really badass. It doesn't say legendary on the reputation, though. This prisoner can withstand a lot more punishment in a fight. They can also sometimes withstand being hit by a taser. So they're deadly, but they're not volatile. Good. Deadly plus volatile is a real bad deal. At least they're not volatile. It means that if we cater to their needs, they won't kick off. As long as they're not in a bad mood, they should be fine. But if we have anybody who's volatile or an instigator can make them fight, and then they start killing people, and then we have problems, right? So when this wing is done, we'll be expanding to hold more maximums. And then this area here will be a lot of solitary cells as well. I think I need more workmen. I'm going to hire a few more just to get this stuff done because we're expanding fast. Somebody also asked me, in case you're wondering, why do you hire, why don't you just put your workmen like right here so they just start working? Why do you hire them over here? I kind of answered that a couple of times, but my main answer to that is because it's just more realistic to me. It's kind of like my own personal limitation. It's not something you have to do. But I generally feel like if I'm going to hire a new staff, they're going to come in through the front door. They're not going to be like, I'm not going to be hiring new staff and then they just show up, right? So whenever I hire new staff, like if I want new guards, I'd go like this. If I want maybe one more cook, go like that. You know, a couple of janitors, go like that. And yeah, maybe one more workman. I'm going to hire them out here. Dog handlers, right? Because that gets them, you know, they're going to appear and then they're going to go through whatever door in the front, right? And then they go to where they need to go. It's just my thing. Now, I want to be careful hiring too many staff because the staff room, it's going to have good amounts of staff meals. I'm not really concerned about it, but I don't want too many people. Ooh, I don't want too many people in here, right? This is kind of interesting. Look at that nice carpet. And if we turn off the grid, we can get a better idea of what this looks like because this is the room grid that we can see. We turn that off in the options, I think. Graphics. Experimental? No. Game. Colored room checker box. Turn that off. So now we won't see the room checker boxes. And then, like, that's what the carpet looks like. And that's pretty cool. I kind of like it. Yeah. Looks nice. And actually, if I turn the room checker boxes off, then you guys can't come in the comments and be like, hey, man, I was watching your video extra closely, and there's one tile that's not part of your room. You have a... Where the world is it? Staff room. You have a single tile that's not part of your staff room. I love poking fun at you guys. I love poking fun at backseaters because it's like, if you can dish it out, you better be able to take me making fun of you for doing it. Okay, this isn't what I want at all. This is bad too. Like, they're just going around all of the stuff that I want them to do. I'm actually going to disable this or dismantle this really quick. This needs to be bigger anyway. So we're going to drop a bigger door here. And then I'm going to go ahead and get, I think that. We'll see what this does. And maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe we just let this cleaning cupboard exist here without this back door. Because I want them going through this, right? Let's take this and go access only. Oh, come on now. Come on now. This is closed off. It's a separate spot. Come on. Hang on. Room. This is not a room anymore. How's that feel? Right? Can we deploy it now? Thank you. Access only there. Okay. So hopefully they're just like, oh, we shouldn't go through there if we, you know, unless we have to. That's what I'm hoping for. And so if you want to get to the cleaning cupboard, you're going in there. But if you're not going here, you need to go around this room. That's the hope anyway. So we'll see what they do for pathing on that. Let's turn the room checkerboard back on because I want to be able to see it. I actually do want to be able to see my rooms. But I wanted to see what the carpet looked like. And yeah, I'm kind of okay with it. Maybe we just drop the carpet. We got money. 35K. You know, this is $9 grand to drop red carpet into this area. $9 grand. Wowzers. All right. Just wowzers. All of that while I'm also expanding here. This is done, actually. So let's take this door away. We obviously don't want that to exist. So we'll take that. We'll have them prioritize that. They're getting on with the wall. We're doing pretty good. Perimeter wall's laying in. 26,000 left in the bank. We're probably going to have to put a pause on that. I might lay the fence right here just so that if they want to go around it, they have to go extra distance with the tunnel. But I'm also thinking, like, why don't we just go ahead and patrol? Yeah, this dog patrol is messed up now, so let's go ahead and get rid of this patrol. And we'll have to relay that. So we'll go with like this. And then I'm going to break it apart. I'm going to go like that. And I'm going to go like that. And I'm going to go one. Dog. One. Nope. Now see how it says schedule 2 only? It's because my deployment scheduler is on this. So if I want to do it to all of them, then you either click the white arrow and that resets it to everything, or you can click in a... I think you can click here and it'll do it. Yeah, I was just making sure because I saw this. But if you click the white arrow, that will also do the same thing. So now these will be... Oh, it doesn't do the same thing. Wait, huh? It did it here. Wait. Hold on. It just did it there. But it didn't do it here. So I guess you have to click the white. All schedules. All schedules. All schedules. Yeah, we have a dog that runs through here now. And you know what? Let's put one more here because they're probably going to want to dig this way because it's closest to the wall. And if they want to dig that way, I guess so. Go for it. That's where this wall is. So you go for it, I guess. But mostly they probably want to dig this direction and that direction. Let's put white wall there. Seal that down. And then what we want to do from there is we're going to go like this temporarily. Because I really don't want them hanging out over here. I don't have the lights even. Do we lay down the lights? Let's lay down the lights. Where are the lights at? I don't even see them. Do I even have lights here? What? Where's the light coming from? Is it just coming from all the cells lighting it up? I think so. Interesting. I never put lights in. One. Yeah, we'll just do that. So, like that, that, and that, 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 and that. And then we're gonna scoot over and start putting lights in there, there, and there, I guess. Maybe we'll scoot over one like this. I don't really care how they're organized. It doesn't matter. Here, here, and here, 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 and here, and here, here, and here, and then here, here, and here. That should give adequate lighting. Walls going in. We'll go ahead and tell them to demolish this wall. I don't need this wall right now. You know what? No. No, don't demolish. Demolish this, 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 and this. But we're going to keep this wall because it's going to be part of the cells. And I don't want to have to remake it. So we'll keep that. Ooh, staff room. Looking good with a nice comfy carpet. Now they can spill their meals on the carpet. Isn't that nice? Okay, we got some commotion happening. It's mostly just because they're getting really stressed out. I think they might need... Like, are they feeling suppressed? Is their freedom need... Is it always their freedom need? They don't have enough freedom. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Their freedom need is the big one. So let's take a look at their regime. So they have 3 times of freedom, but what they don't have... is like if they have a program, then they're not getting any freedom. So let's take a look really quick at our programs. How many are in the queue? 58. But nobody's going to the 5 to 6 p.m. and the 6 to 7 p.m. ones. So let's just take this for a second. 5 to 6, 6 to 7. We'll just do that. That works for me. Then we can do a program free time one here. And then how does that relate to... Okay, so protective custody eats at 7 and 8. So I don't want them to have free time here. So I will give you a solid free time block, but then you're getting a solid lockup block. So you better be happy with that. That's what I mean. Like, I have to adjust the regimes and stuff, which means I may have to move cells, especially since I still don't have death row and I still don't have low security. And then there's no supermax wing yet either. I may expand across the road here to put in, like, I may move all of Criminally Insane over here, and then they'd have their own canteen and their own schedules and stuff. I may do that, but I'd really like to see if I can get the single canteen idea to work. So far, it does. If I take a look at objects, we can always know how many people have died. Just 6. 6 prisoners. And guards, even though they're not being paid enough, are still happy with their job. So that's good. With 34,000 left, I think I'm going to just get a little bit more done on perimeter wall. So like right here. Just a little bit more. Trying to get them to not be able to dig out of here. Because I've got a lot of money until I start doing perimeter walls. But you know what? That's a pretty good investment. In the end, I think perimeter walls is a great investment. And because I mean, if they do dig and you don't notice it, it's going to take them a lot longer to get through this. So you have less escapes that way. I think we have, what, 3 escapes total? 3 escapes. 7% reoffending rate, though. I'm not a fan of that. Need to work on reform a bit more and also health a bit more. And that's kind of weird. Why is health low? What have I done? Is it just the food? Is it their dieting? I have high quantity, low variety. So they can get the well-fed buff, but it doesn't take me a lot of money. But maybe if I added more variety. Although I fear if I add more variety, then it's not going to be able to... I might not be able to support this many, because then these will start holding less meals. But perhaps that would help them. Let's take a look really quick. Health is at -5. 1% of stay intoxicated. Active addictions, intoxication. He's not a good example. Okay, health. Yours is here. Well-fed and staying exercise. Exercise helps them too. Yeah. Okay, so this yard is not being used because I haven't adjusted this yet. So this is currently their sleep time, and he's not sleeping. He really wants exercise and recreation, which is why we're going to give him a yard time right here. Let's give him yard there. Then he can come back and get in the yard here. And then with this single hour of eat time, I think that's enough for now. Just because he doesn't need a whole lot of time to get in there and get food. But the other eat time period he has... Wait, hold on. Let me just double check this. I want to make sure he's using his yard. Yeah. Because my fear is if I give him yard time, he's going to end up hanging out here, since this is a shared yard. And there's not really a way for me to get him to this. I mean, one thing I could do is maybe do a catwalk. But, it's not really saving me much. He's still in this area. So I was hoping that they would prioritize the yard that's, exclusive to them. And now he's getting his needs. Now his needs are getting met. At least a little bit. Let me see what you have now. Yeah, so he still wants exercise and recreation. I'd love to give him free time, because then he can get to this common room and you can buy things. But to do that, he may choose to come out here, and then it's bad. I think it's probably going to have to... We're going to have to do something here, man. How do I get him? Give me your ideas if you have one. How do I get him to use the same canteen as everyone else? Give him free time without him putting himself at risk. The only way I could see to do that would have been to have a door direct to the canteen. Which means building this ahead of time with the idea of using a single canteen. Having protective custody be directly connected to the canteen. That way I could have had all of his facilities could be locked down to just him. But then when I give him free time, he would probably just use these and everything would be locked down to him except the canteen. But even that won't work because the doors outside the canteen need to cater to multiple security levels. What I really, really, really need them to do in this game is allow me to omit a security level from a facility. So I can take this entire prison and say no protective custody everywhere aside from this canteen and this yard. And that way, when I send him on free time, he's just going to go straight here and that's it. He's not going to wander everywhere else. But even then, it doesn't work that well because this yard would be occupied. So I would have to do it at a time where nobody else is doing anything. Which means moving my regime around. So right now, I think we're just going to settle with having yard time. His food need was actually fine. He doesn't even need his eat time right now, right? Like, what's his... It doesn't show me. It does show me a 94% chance of reoffending because there's 0 reform programs. Which I can't help his interest in it. Maybe if the game would tell me what his interest is in this, that would be better. But it kind of doesn't. I'm even offering him a job here. And that's not happening. I would love to get him to, like, take a class. Or go to behavioral therapy or something, right? Because it's all right here for him. But that's the challenge, you know? May need to reform all of this. And I'm actually tempted to do that. Like, if we take the solitary wing here and just remove it and turn this into protective custody, right? What happens then is I could make a dedicated path right through here. Since this room is kind of too big anyway. Make a dedicated path right here. Takes them directly to this. And then have all of protective custody's facilities be right here. And then they never have to look at everything else. But they still use the same canteen. And they have direct access to this yard. But we would have to cut that. We don't want them to have direct access to this yard. I still don't think you can do it. Because I can't tell the game, don't allow protective custody in this yard. I can't do that. I can say this yard is for only this, right? But I can't say protective custody, don't use this. You know? The only way to do that is to mark it as a different security level. But then that cuts out all the rest of them, right? Now, I will work within the limitations of the game. Guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Let me know how you feel about it. The mayor has dropped a whole bunch of maximum security prisoners on us. And now our capacity is quite restricted. Oh my gosh. I think I filled it up. They're on lockup right now. I think that was exactly the number. Yeah. He gave me exactly the number of cells I had left. And so now we have to expand all out this way. We got a perimeter wall set up now. We're getting closer to that. I'm going to let this run so I can make some money. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.